Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am J-Ho.
It's your boy Big Joe.
I'm Weezy. What it do? What the business is?
It's your man, Coach Locke. What's happening with y'all?
You messed that whole thing up, Weezy. What's going on there? How's everybody?
I'm good, man. How I mess it up, Jay?
I usually intro you and Coach Locke at the beginning, like we've done for the last.
That's how you know. I like that. I look forward to what's up with you every week.
Nah, but it's all good. We here now.
Yeah.
How's everybody?
Everybody's good.
Great.
Weezy just woke up clearly.
Man. Goodness gracious.
Trying to. Woo.
I didn't get to put the cucumber under my eyes, man.
I'm right. Episode 326. We are breaking down the 7 ultimate sports matchups we were robbed of seeing.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
Better damn know it.
And you better damn believe it, man. Let's kick it off. Best of the week, Coach Locke. What you got?
My best of the week is Jarian Grant. He was in the bubble and they were interviewing him, and he was getting questions about life in the bubble. And he answered all the questions with saying his focus is on what's important in the world today, and that's focusing on Breonna Taylor's killers still being free. That was great by him because that is what we need to be focusing on. All the stuff that doesn't really matter seems to be starting to take priority over that when we need to get that taken care of.
Facts. Sure. What you got, Jeff?
The Washington football team, man, forced into submission, it seems like. But shout out to Daniel Snyder trying to do the right thing. He ain't completed it yet, but they definitely trying to do the right thing.
Most definitely. What about you, Weezy?
Best week for me is my boy Derrick Henry, man. Sign on the dotted line. Sure.
Definitely going to talk about that in the first half for sure. It's a big deal. My best of the week is Woj, man. Adrian Wojnarowski told a MAGA senator, F you, in an email. Then was suspended from ESPN for it. Some days you just don't have it, man. You know, it might be, day, just you got to air your grievances out. So, and that was the day for Woj. So, free Woj, man. They suspended my dog, free Woj, for sure.
Damn.
Hey, man, that's all this coming to all of one, man. You know, ain't no real sports to talk about, and they said something he didn't like, man. He just let them know about it. He was tired of it.
Yeah,
You know what's crazy is we need Woj for this bubble too. We need a Woj.
Yeah. Woj is probably, handling out some stuff to the people that work at ESPN. So Woj working behind the scenes for sure. Weezy, what you got? Worse than you throwing lives for sure. What you got, Weezy?
Oh, worst of the week for me was Daniel Snyder and then Daniel Snyder in the Washington football team with the rape cases, man.
Oh my God.
Rape cases? My goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't.
They got a little talk about it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Lord.
Everything's coming out, man, right now. So it's a bad week, man.
Some sexual harassment stuff, but I done missed the rape stuff. Goodness.
Yeah. Read between the lines, Coach. Read between the lines, baby.
Are you putting the rape on them?
Oh my God.
Right. See what I'm saying? They ain't that you read between the lines on now. Jesus.
Coach Locke, what you got, man?
Man, seeing the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, is suing the city of Atlanta over requiring them to wear a mask in public. He's suing Keisha Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta. That just lets you know where we are right now, man. Like, all she trying to do is protect people and keep the city safe, man, and he's trying to stop it.
Vote Stacey Abrams, man. They different.
We gotta do something in Georgia. What you got, Joe?
Oh man, I need about 25 seconds for this one. My Madden season came to an end today. Not happy about it. I feel like I built the winner. The forces to be weren't in my favor. My internet crashed. Still down right now, and my season's over. I don't know what to do. I'm a little lost right now. Built the winner though. 2 losses on the season. I'm upset.
Yeah.
Jeff, I ain't even gonna cap. You put together a really good season. You snaked your way into getting Jamal Adams for sure, who led the Man League in forced fumbles. But
Game changer.
the game changer for sure. But yeah, for sure.
Who won the league? Is it over?
Not over yet.
Not over yet.
Somebody on this call is in the Super Bowl, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
I think it is Jay.
Yeah.
We just hey, Jeff, we just stand low and we keep it fine.
That's all you can do, Jay.
That's all I'm doing. I'm staying low and I'm keeping fine, dog, for sure.
Oh my God.
My worst of the week, man, is the NBA snitch hotline. Snitches get stitches, man. Southside of Nashville, Tennessee, man. We don't do well with snitches, man. So just relax, everybody. And I bet it's all Clippers, Rockets players. For sure, Dame Lillard is a snitch. He's probably calling. He probably has it on speed dial.
Relax.
You know,
we know your boy, just because your boy Kobe, you know what I'm saying, was.
Whoa!
Make sure you
peace.
Yeah,
He
but
struck
you know
nerve.
we're not.
You struck a nerve, Coach. Like he brought up Kobe. You struck a nerve.
we gonna relax on that. You know, I never said nothing about him, but you know we gonna.
Jesus
don't
Christ!
throw
We
my
talking
boy
about
in
a
that.
snitch hotline. You bring up a dead man, dog.
Don't throw my boy in that, man. You don't know that to be true.
Ooh, struck a nerve.
Wow. Hey, Coach. This is my second time telling somebody this today, man. You better than that, dog. You better than that. You better than that, Coach. Lee, man. Stat of the week, man. Shout out to Weezy's arch nemesis, Pope, for this fine. Tom Brady has the same amount of Super Bowl wins as the Buccaneers have total playoff wins. Also, Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl is 0-3 when wearing a cutoff hoodie, but he is 6-0 when not wearing a cutoff hoodie.
I seen that.
That's a stat.
The stat of the week, man. Stat of the week, for sure.
I'm surprised Belichick hasn't caught on to that already.
Yeah, they got it. Hey, listen.
I hope he will, Coach. He will. Cam Newton.
I hope so, man. We need him to have a good year this year, for sure. Now make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. After you do that, make sure you check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee every Wednesday. The latest issue is up, the Freddie Gibbs Alfredo album review. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Getting a lot of talk about that album out here in these streets. So check that album out and check the guys out at On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast.
For sure, man. Shout out to the guys. Moving right along to the Fresher Than Your Average podcast, featuring myself and my dog, Animal Brown. It's a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. We have an FTYA Friday IG Live posted right now, analyzing your best chance of copping the Yeezy 350 V2 Zion release. Pull up on us directly for the culture. It's on the IG page right now, Fresher Than Your Average pod. Wear your kicks. Cop responsible. Jeff.
I'm gonna use advice. I'm gonna use that advice for tomorrow. I damn sure hope it works.
Okay. Now for sure. Litmus test. For sure. We use his advice, man. For sure. AB is the Yeezy whisperer. So yeah, for sure.
I'm using it.
Let's see. All right. Jeff.
Yes, sir.
You have 10 good wrestling seconds.
Yes, sir, I do.
Let's start the clock.
All right. So this Sunday is Extreme Rules Eye for an Eye. I'm sorry. Extreme Rules, the horror show. So you know what that means. Who gets the W? All right, let's get it going. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, we got the champ, Bailey, versus Nikki Cross. Weezy, who gets the W?
Bailey.
That's out of choice. Jay?
I'm going Bailey for sure.
Coach Locke?
Bailey.
All right. And then next we got the Raw Women's Championship. We got Asuka, the champion, versus Sasha Banks. Jay, who you got?
Asuka for sure. Sticking with Asuka.
All right. Coach Locke?
Sasha Banks.
Weez?
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks too for the W.
I'm gonna go with Asuka. And in one of the main events, we got the WWE Championship match. We got Drew McIntyre, the champ, versus Dolph Ziggler. Coach Locke, who you got?
Give me Drew for sure.
Okay. Weezy?
I'm going to limb here. I'm going Dolph Ziggler.
GD says his name right. But, you know.
Right. Dolph?
Dolph. Jay, who you got?
I'm going with Drew. I'm going with Drew today.
I'm going with Drew as well. And in the most absurd wrestling match stipulation I've ever heard in my life, it's an eye for an eye match where the loser literally has to have his eye ripped out of socket. That is online. That is the stipulation. That is what they're going for. Hilarious. We have Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. Weezy, who gets the W?
Rey Mysterio. Old school wrestler. That's
Jay.
my boy.
Seth Rollins is winning that for sure.
Coach Locke.
Can I go with the field? Because ain't nobody eye gonna get ripped out.
I just want to see how they play this shit out.
Right, but I'm going Seth Rollins because I'm very curious to see how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I'm going with Seth Rollins too, just because of how they've been playing it up. But that's the reason why it's called the horror show, is because there will be someone's eye will be ripped out. This is what happens when there's no audience and you leave people around with their imaginations. They get to come up with wrestling like this. So, again, that is who gets the W for Extreme Rules, Eye for an Eye, the horror show. And don't forget to check out the 808s and Chair Shots podcast each and every Thursday morning. All right.
Weezy, you might win 0 for the 4. I mean, you might win 0 for. You went 0 for, bro. Tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe, but more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
That the revolution will be podcasted. And before we get started with the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. I got a very big box this week, man, for the WNBA, man.
For sure, most definitely. WNBA MVP Elena Delle Donne filed papers seeking a health exemption, which would allow her to be excused from play while she's still earning her salary. The WNBA denied her request. Delle Donne has chronic Lyme disease for 12 years and takes 64 pills a day to control the condition, which impacts her immune system. The WNBA said basically risk your life or forfeit your paycheck. After an outcry from the WNBA fans and the Players Tribune, the Washington Mystics stepped up and came out and said they were planning on paying her full salary and allow her to work out for the 2021 WNBA season. Come on, WNBA. You cannot drop the ball like that on your MVP, especially considering the fact that she's been dealing with this for 12 years in the Hakes. And now the Players Tribune had to do an open letter to say how this lady is dealing with this every day, 64 pills, man, just to kind of, control her daily routine, man. WNBA, man, they dropped the ball with this.
That's a dirty.
It seems like every time they take 2 steps, they take 3 steps backwards. Yeah. Every time. They just got their good collective bargaining agreement. People are excited about that. And now one of your best players in the league, which was the MVP, like you mentioned, has this issue and you're not going to step up and be like, we understand. Like, come on, WNBA, man. We should make sure they got the commercial box.
It's on the way. It is on the way. I just got a phone call from the drone. I pushed the button. It's on the way. That's sick. It's a sick world we live in.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, man. I've never seen stuff like this is going on over the last 4 months, man. And I tell you what, it doesn't look like it's getting any better either.
You know what, Jay? If he coming, tell him come on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
If he coming, he need to come on. I'm trying to tell you now.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Come on.
You guys ready to get started the first half?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am Jay Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Locke, where can they find you on social media, my brother?
Man, I'm on IG and Twitter at Locke_the_great. That's THA. Holla at me.
Facto. Where you at, Weezy?
I'm at FSP_Weezy on IG, and I'm at How Weezy on Twitter. All day long. Holla at me.
All day long. I can dig it. What about you, Jeff?
Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
That's a fact. And I'm Jay Hove on Instagram and Twitter. Find me on Twitter to have a conversation. It will be short. And we are at youtube.com/Full Sport Press Podcast. We have a giveaway coming up soon. Coach Locke is starring in the video. Got his beard going. So look out for that very soon as far as stipulations for this giveaway, for sure. Let's kick things off, man, with the NFL. Weezy's favorite team, Tennessee Titans. Less than 24 hours after Adam Schefter reported that it seemed unlikely that Tennessee and the star running back Derrick Henry would agree to a long-term deal. The two sides reached terms on a 4-year, $50 million contract that includes $25 million in guarantees. Was this a mistake or a good move by the Titans?
I think it was a great move by the Titans. Some people say it's a mistake. I don't see it as a mistake. I think Derrick Henry wanted a little bit more money, but I think he wanted to play for the Titans a little bit more than he wanted the money. So they met him halfway. Both sides said they wanted to get the deal done. I didn't believe it at first, but they did. Derrick Henry, he didn't try to break the bank. He got $25 million guaranteed in the first couple of years, which I think was huge. If he could catch the ball in the backfield, I think he would have a bargain price to get, Zeke money, Saquon money, but in a White Lightning. But that was the only thing that was holding him back. So that makes it an understandable deal to me. Plus, he's the key. He's tough, man. We got a tough squad. That's what we built on. So he was a big key to for signing him. So I love it.
They had to. This was a good faith signing by the Titans. After giving Tannehill his money, you tried to stall out your best player, so you did right by him. He's under. I think it's a 4-year deal, right? Yeah, so he's going to get paid right up until he's 30, and you know how the 30-year marker with running backs, there's going to, it's as the cameraman will say, it's glue gun time. So they hopefully the Titans do right by him and they pay him up until then, and he can, find another contract somewhere else. But this is his last contract with the Titans, though. Do your best with it.
I agree. I believe it was the right move. They have nothing else going for them. The Titans are built on the run. He was led the league in rushing, averaged 5.1 yards per carry, which was the highest among running backs with at least 200 carries. The second leading rush on the team was Deion Lewis. He had 209 yards. So you're talking about going from 1,500 to 200 to your next back. Now, that needs to change next year because you don't want to run this man to the ground. That's the last thing they can afford to happen. Even though he's a big, powerful, strong back, you still don't want to run him into the ground and give him all these carries and reps. So paying them was right, but they're going to have to make sure they don't run him into the ground per se.
For sure. I think it was a great move for the Titans. This guy got some MVP votes. So it's a good move for both parties. Other running backs have kind of forced their way into their earnings, and it shows that the Titans believe in Derrick Henry. With that $25 million as a guarantee, it's over the first 2 years. I don't think he gets past those first 2 years of this contract. Bringing Henry back, basically what everybody said, he is the person that gets the offense going. And that wing T offense. So continue to build that game plan around him, and it also keeps Henry from having a competitive market, which will be next year when you have a gluttony of running backs that'll be free agents next year.
Wait, Jay, what you mean he'll get past the first two? What do you mean?
Well, so it's a $25 million contract as far as guaranteed money. So it's just the first 2 years that are guaranteed.
So you think he's trying to re-sign again?
No, I think they'll cut him or trade him in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And they did there to George. They'll do it to anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's keep it in football.
That's a mood swing right there. Y'all just gave me a mood swing.
Well, at least you didn't get mad when somebody brought up the wing T, but whatever.
Didn't quite hear that one.
No, okay. Let's keep it in football. So no last-minute deal was able to come through for the Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott. Okay, so Dak's scheduled to make $31 million next year playing on a franchise tag. He says he's happy to be a Cowboy and can't wait to coach McCarthy. What are the odds that Dak actually starts the season as a Dallas Cowboy this year?
No, 100%. You're going to start the season.
Yeah, those are great odds.
Odds. No, 100%. Yeah. This is the thing. You got a bargain out of Dak Prescott the last 3 years. Pay the man. Just pay the man, dog. Pay this man. Dak will never look at this franchise the same unless he totally bombs out. His price tag in 2021 is going to be absolutely insane. And history tells us that the quarterback position, that money goes up every year. Of course, the franchise tag will be $37.5 million next year as well. So if you franchise tag him again, you're either out of $37 million bucks, or you're going to have to pay what Deshaun Watson's going to get, which will be north of $400 million next year. So
God,
the Cowboys made a terrible, terrible decision not getting him signed. And they had plenty of time to do so, man. They just don't. And I get it. Trade him then, and let's see what Andy Dalton will do.
Couldn't have said it any better. Like you said, Mahomes just signed a big dog contract. We know that. We know he wasn't going to get Mahomes money, but we do know, like you mentioned, Deshaun Watson is up for a contract next year. So if you go ahead and sign Dak, you don't have to pay him based on what Deshaun Watson is going to get, because now Deshaun Watson is going to get paid. Because he's proved it. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, so they have no choice but to pay him now, because if you don't pay him, now you're not gonna have nothing. You're gonna be back at square one in Houston. So now once you pay Watson, now Dak is gonna base his money based off what Deshaun is getting. You could have avoided all that by going and signing Dak and getting it out the way even before Mahomes signed his contract. So now you put yourself behind an 8 ball where you're gonna be out of more money than you would have been originally if you'd go ahead and sign that man after all he's done for the Cowboys.
My only thing to that was we never got the specifics of the contract. All we seen was Dak turned down this, or the Cowboys offered that. We never seen a 5-year deal, 60-something guaranteed. We never seen that. My sources tell me towards the end of the day that Dak was running, Dak and his mascot, Dak and his agent was running back towards the phone because they wanted that $100 million guaranteed, but it was too late for the deal to get done. If that's true, they dropped the ball. You don't turn down 100 guaranteed right now. You just don't do it. Not Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. You just don't do it. If that happened, he dropped the ball. But if that's hearsay, we don't know. I think it's a little bit of both of their fault. Dak didn't want to meet them halfway, and Jerry didn't want to meet them halfway. So somebody wanted to leverage. and somebody should have met somebody halfway.
I agree with you on that, Weezy. It sounds like everybody was a little hesitant. Like if you're Dak, you want Pat Mahomes to get his deal before you, because Pat Mahomes resets the market. If you're the Cowboys, you want to do your best to get Dak under contract before Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes is going to reset the market. So it looks like both sides dropped the ball, and both sides are going into this season with egg on their face, hoping for the best as things go on. And I don't think Dak remains a Cowboy much longer.
Real quick, like, is it fair to keep on like, okay, Pat Mahomes is the standard for a quarterback. Is that fair to base my salary off? I mean, even Deshaun Watson's good. He's not Pat Mahomes. So just because he's not Pat Mahomes, that means does he not deserve that kind of money? We can't set it off Pat Mahomes, can we?
Well, we set the market off of Jared Goff 2 years ago. That's why Russell Wilson got as much money as he got. So it's just levels, So you gotta. Somebody has to get paid in order for somebody else to move up. It's levels.
Kirk Cousins,
tiers. Them tiers. Yeah.
I got you.
Well, speaking of the money, Kaminga, I think it is. I'm sorry. Who's the 2021's number one basketball player in the 24/7 Sports composite rankings, has decided that he's going to reclassify to the 2020 class and skip college and go straight to the G League. Now, he's a 6'8" small forward from New Jersey who had narrowed his list down to Auburn, Duke, Kentucky, Texas Tech, and the G League. Well, he decided that he was going to go ahead and skip by that college and go ahead and get that guaranteed money from the G League and just take his chances on himself, which we've already reported on with other numerous players on this podcast. Now, he's an athletic wing who can handle the ball, that can get into the paint. He can go up multiple positions on the other end. That only thing that will hold him back at this point is that he has to work on his shooting. Outside of that, if he increases and works on his shooting and gets that down, he's going to be a big-time player in the NBA. You think this is smart for him to sign with the G League instead of going to college?
I'll go ahead. This kid, Jay, kind of introduced this before about kids reclassifying. He talked about that before. And I've always been a little hesitant about the reclassification process just because you kind of rob yourself that extra time of getting your game together, within the talent frame which you already are. So you rob yourself of a year and you just jump right up to a professional. So, but I get it. Skipping college is one thing, but the reclassification kind of bothers me sometimes. I got to wrap my head around that a little bit more. But the kid looks talented on tape. That's all you got from him right now. And, I'm never going to start telling a young man not to get paid. So get the money at this point. I don't, it's not college basketball is already in the crapper anyway. So go get the money.
Yeah, I think that's where we at, man, with the NBA, with these college boys. They don't want to go to school. They want to get their money. Like Jay said, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal as it is now, but it's huge. It's a huge deal. And you can't really knock them for it at all because college is BS right now. NCAA is some BS. So you got to just see what happens. But can it hurt his career? That's what I'm looking at. Will it hurt his career? What if he's not good at it? What if he gets in the G League and they kill him? And I mean, and he ain't the player that I thought he was.
He'll be fine. I think this is the necessary route for players that don't want to be exposed. You can go to college. For a prime example, Trey Duval. I've used it. He's the greatest example in the last 10 years of a player that can go to college and get exposed. This kid can't shoot. So in college, Coach Locke is probably going to speak to this. If you can't shoot, they're going to put you in a zone and they're going to expose the hell out of you that you can't shoot. So in turn, go to the G League. You won't get as much as far as attention because in college, he was going to be the man wherever he goes. Kentucky, Duke, Texas Tech, where he's probably going to go because his brother plays at Texas Tech. But it's less film. You go to the G League, you're playing with 5 other players that's trying to get better just like you. They now have a starting 5. Brian Shaw is the coach of this G League team. This is the necessary step for a player like him. Jeff, to answer your reclassification thing, this kid's probably been playing below his skill set for years. So his reclass is just to catch up to where he's probably should have been playing for the last 2 years.
So you say he's like OJ Mayo. He's been playing with younger people his whole life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, it's just a player that you reclass down so you can work on stuff that you're not as good at. Then you reclass up because you think you've caught up. And usually when people reclass up, they really see that either they really can play at that level, or it's a situation where they probably should have stayed maybe 2 years back.
And Jeff, to speak on what you said about going to college for that 1 year to work on his game, he's going to have more time to do that in the G League with more access to trainers and accessibility of things. And why not be getting paid if you know you can get paid while working on those things? Because you go to college, even though a lot of those players after the second semester, during the second semester, I guess I should say, once the basketball season ends, they unenroll from college to go work out. But that first semester, they have to go to class. So you're taken away from hours where they can work out. Well, they working out in the morning and then afternoon for practice. Well, if he's in a G League, he has nothing but time to work out all day long. So he'll get more reps on his shot because everybody knows that's the one thing he really needs to work on.
No, and I may have misspoke. I was referring more so to like in the prep school era and high school and things like that. Just just stuff that you can work on in a lower level that when you get, because college, that 1 year of college, like Jay said, the spotlight is on you so much. Like there's so much tape. Even going to the G League, there's going to be so much tape and scrutiny for skipping college and things like that. Are you robbing yourself of opportunity to fine tune your game on areas that where the light isn't as big? Was what I'm trying to say. That's all. But
this kid got a low motor too, Jeff. So
and that's I didn't want to go there.
Hey, he got a low motor, man. So he did the right thing.
Okay, all right. Well, so let's move on to something I don't think we've ever talked about before, and somehow I always get these topics. But hey, it is what it is. So, is it Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3? No. Is it Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2? No. But Michael Buffer will be there, and this summer we get Iron Mike Tyson versus Jaws. That's right, people. The Shark Jaws is going to be in a fight with the former undisputed heavyweight champion. And it's going to be called the Rumble on the Reef. It's going to be on Shark Week on August 9th at 9 p.m. Tyson is going to fight an animal in the name of research. What the hell is Mike Tyson doing?
Mike Tyson, he don't need no money that bad. I promise you he don't. I promise you he don't. And I hate it because they messing up Shark. I love Shark Week. And then they messing up Shark Week for some BS like this, man. I hope the Shark whip his ass. I really do. I hope the Shark whip his ass now. I do. I just thought about it. I hope the Shark whip his ass.
How in the hell is Mike gonna fight a damn shark? He's gonna be underwater?
Yes, it's going to be.
Now, if it's gonna be in the water, he'll get his ass whooped. I promise you. If it's underwater, he gonna get his ass whooped. That I promise you. It'll be a TKO. I promise you.
No, it is going to be underwater against a shark in the name of research. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a gimmick, staged ordeal, but it's supposed to be underwater.
It's no different from the whole Michael Phelps versus the great white shark thing. They did that a couple of years ago on Shark Week, where they wanted to see if he was fast enough to outswim a shark. Because they say if you in the water with a shark and it runs towards you, you punch him in the nose or you poke him in the eye and that'll help you get away. So I'm sure it's gonna probably be something testing that theory. I guess maybe they're gonna see if Tyson can punch him in the nose, but how they gonna have him protected? Is he gonna be in it? Clearly, he's gonna have to be in the cage because he's in the water with a shark. So I don't understand why they doing this, man. But you know what though? People gonna watch it. That's why they doing it.
I hope this is pre-recorded because
Yeah.
I don't want to see no crazy
If
shit.
it's live, I wish my boy Crocodile Hunter was live for shit like this because he wouldn't let this shit like this happen.
So apparently it is pre-recorded because Tyson says, I equate this with overcoming my fear of getting back in the ring at 54 years old. I learned from this experience that I'm still able to step up against whatever intimidates me, and this is bringing me to my highest potential and bringing me closer to God.
Because I'm telling you, closer to God, I'm telling you, it was almost a no-show. I'm telling you now. He comes to the water with this shark. I'm telling you, Jaws will win. It will not be a rematch. I promise. It will not be a rematch.
You guys ready to get started with halftime?
Yes, sir.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime, in case you missed it. Former NBA star Magic Johnson's food service partnership is giving Grambling State University $2 million. The HBCU says it's one of the largest ever unrestricted gifts, and it's double the original goal of the school's annual fundraising campaign. Now, the food service agreement also includes support for Grambling's technology degree programs and planned community-focused education program in science, technology, engineering, and also math. Grambling says the money will count towards the school's Bring It Home campaign, which includes but isn't restricted to scholarship and other financial aid. Clap it up for Magic Johnson. I know this is a tax write-off, but it is a tax write-off going in the right way. I always wish and hope that people that are doing these tax write-offs. I know Kevin Durant gave $1 million to the University of Texas, which is his alma mater. Give that tax write-off, man, to some of these HBCUs, because that $2 million will go way further at Grambling than it will at the University of Texas. So shout out to HBCUs and shout out to Magic Johnson for that.
Yeah, shout out to Magic Johnson. He could have easily got that money to Michigan State.
Easy. He probably got so much money to Michigan State, it's ridiculous. But why not give it to Howard or Hampton or TSU, man? We got to find ways to support and help our own, and this is the way you do it, which is a tax write-off. Give it to some of these HBCUs, man. They need it.
I wonder how he came across choosing Grambling out of all the HBCUs. I would like to ask him and talk to him about that if I could. I know I won't, but I'm just curious of why he chose Grambling out of all the HBCUs.
Grambling has been known over the years to have the worst facilities of HBCUs. So he probably read that somewhere, and somebody on his team's probably a smart individual and said, hey, man, probably need to go down here and help out Grambling. That's where we'll do our tax write-off this year. So.
Shout out to Magic Johnson. That's a great thing. But like you said, Jay, let's spread it out a little bit. Like Coach Locke said, let's figure out how he made that choice to Grambling. It's a few more out there that can use a little help with these facilities.
Oh, my God. Hell yeah.
Great thing.
It's many of these schools that need it, man. And I understand you have a lot of people that kind of look like Magic that are giving the Floridas and Florida States. Hey, listen, a lot of people that don't look like Magic are giving to Florida and Florida State. Give some of that money to Bethune-Cookman. Give that money to Florida A&M. It'll help a little bit more there for sure.
I think we're gonna start to see a little more than that.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna start to see a little more of that now for sure. Yeah.
You guys ready to get started the second half?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
The second half is underway.
Second half, the ultimate sports matchups we were robbed of seeing. Before we get started, I am Jay Ho.
Boy, Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Like the debate over which would win the championship between Michael Jordan and insert Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, etc. in their prime is so divisive. It could split a country in half. I've seen it happen at the barbershop for sure. There is no correct answer to this, and it will never happen, but that doesn't stop people from actually talking about it. It's part of what makes sports fun. Imagining the greats from one era taking on legends from another era and trying to predict the outcome. Episode 326, we're doing just that. What other epic fantasy one-on-one matchups can be debated? Team matchups can be debated in team sports. Two players, two teams, seeing if they can come out victorious in a matchup. We will kick things off with the 2001 Miami Hurricanes versus the 2004 USC Trojans. I think this is a matchup of offense against defense. What could have been with this matchup, fellas?
Yeah, that matchup right there could have been amazing to watch. USC's offense. They was scoring damn near 30 points a game, sometimes 40 if they wanted to run it up. They felt like playing for a real team that day. Against some dogs in Miami. That Miami had a bunch of dogs. Pete Carroll versus I forgot the name of the coach at Miami. But anyways,
Larry Coker.
Miami. USC had I think they had the better quarterback. But it would have been great to see. It would have been great to see Reggie Bush meet up with some real speed. Somebody can really chase him down the sideline. Somebody's going to hit him and not help him up. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see that matchup.
That USC defense wasn't that bad either, though. That's the thing. They were third in total defense. They only allowed, 13 points a game. And then you already mentioned that offense. It was a great show. You had Lindell White, Dwayne Jarrett, Steve Smith, a receiver. They were just had players all around. But that Miami team, like you said, they put up points too. They averaged 42.6 points a game. They had 6 All-Americans on their team. And the defense only allowed 9.7 points a game, which was number 1 in the nation. And your defense scored 8 touchdowns in the season. You talking about the defense scoring 8 touchdowns. They averaged beating people by 33 points, basically, which is the largest margin of victory over consecutive ranked teams. They won 124-7. Like that's out of all those ranked teams, that was the score against ranked teams. That's insane. You had Ken Dorsey was the quarterback at Miami. Then you had that Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, Frank Gore, Jeremy Shockey. The team was loaded. That Miami team was just loaded, both sides of the ball. You just pick one that was loaded. Ed Reed on the secondary on the other side, Philip Buchanan, just Sean Taylor was young on that team. Kellen Winslow was young on that team. They were just loaded on that Miami team, man.
Yeah, this is probably, of everything we're going to talk about today, this is the most lopsided one to me. I think this Miami team wins as soon as they step on the field against USC. USC didn't respond well when Texas hit them in the mouth. That when they play the real team, Miami's gonna hit you in the mouth and tell you all about it after they hit you in the mouth. The matchup is the Jameis Winston Florida State team against this Miami team. That's the matchup. That's the matchup we should have talked about.
No. The matchup.
Yeah, that's the best college football.
No, I'm saying 2008 Florida Gators versus y'all. That would have been a better matchup as far as a game, because I think Miami would beat them 41-13. This defense is unheard of.
Yeah,
this defense, it only allowed 8 points a game the entire year, dog. Like, their offense was loaded as well, but it didn't. Yeah, no, that I'm telling you what, man, it would be a blowout. The real matchup would be 2008 Florida versus 16 Florida State. We all won a championship.
That's the man. The Jameis Winston.
I'm telling you,
14.
USC's not losing to that Jameis Winston Florida team.
I'm telling you, the Miami team. And the Florida State team got more talent on defense than they got on offense. And that Miami team definitely dog walking them up and down the field. Dog walk. soon as they walk on the field.
No, the Florida State team is not beating that USC team with Ray Maluga, Taylor Mason, all them. They're not beating that team.
That team's soft, Weezy. That team's soft.
We can beat that team. We can beat that team. For real. Because you got to think about it. We got Jameis that can do exactly what Vince Young did. We know that. But
Who's
then you got our defense.
Receivers?
Huh? Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin was our receiver. Kelvin Benjamin. He's 6'5". Who's going to check him?
His size.
And then our defense, we sent 11 people off that defense to the league. All 11 starters went to the league on that defense. We're going to beat that USC team because they were so used to just outrunning people. Like Jeff mentioned, they never ran into anybody that's going to hit them in the mouth. That until they got to Texas.
I disagree.
You a USC fan, so I understand. You got to fight for your team.
So who we got winning this? I picked Miami
Yes,
to
sir.
win. Coach, who you got winning?
Miami.
Miami in a cakewalk.
I got USC in a dogfight.
That's your squad. That's the reason that you started liking that too. That's funny. Let's move right along to the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers versus the 1996 Chicago Bulls, 72-10. This is basically one of the best teams ever. One of the best teams ever in playoff history. Who you guys got winning? Well, let's start off first with what could have been as far as the matchup.
This is Focus Shaq against Luke Longley and Bill Winnington. Whew, long night. Dennis Rodman gonna have to do work overtime with the mind games and things like that. But that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me is the Shaq matchup is gonna be difficult for the Bulls. They never played against a center in those championships. Never did.
The key word he said, we have Focus Shaq, but I'm not sure Kobe was ready to be unselfish then. And we needed Kobe to be unselfish to be Mike and to be Mike in there. Because he was unselfish. Hey, let's let Shaq kill Luke Longley. Not let me go against Mike one-on-one and just, go back and forth.
I seen them let him go, throw that thing down to Todd McCullough, and he was tearing Todd McCullough's mouth out. Rick Smith, same way. I disagree with that. That offense ran through Shaq, and they would have ran through Shaq that night, and Luke Longley would be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, that's true, but they should have killed that Detroit team too. That did. They should have beat the shit out of that Detroit team. Him
But
against
you got
Ben
a
Wallace.
different. Ben Wallace is not Luke Longley. Ben Wallace is an athlete who's strong, who can go get rebounds. I'm not saying he's going to lock Shaq up, none of that, but he's going to give Shaq a lot of more trouble than Luke Longley will. Ben Wallace can run the floor because that's a running Shaq. Shaq was running the floor still then for that 2000 team. Ben Wallace could run the floor with him. Wasn't no way Luke Longley's going to run the floor with Shaq. It's impossible. Now, with that being said, though, like, you can never count out a player like Dennis Rodman. I don't know what he would have done to Shaq. You never know. He's the X factor because we know Kobe and Mike, they're going to cancel each other. But then you got Pippen. That's what you got to really go into because you can let Mike rest and put Pippen on Kobe. The other way, you can't. Who you going to put on Mike if you don't put Kobe on from the LA team? Kobe's going to have to do. Huh?
Rick Fox?
On that Lakers team?
That's what they did against Magic.
Robert Orr, Rick Fox.
Yeah, what they did against Magic Johnson, they put Pippen on Magic Johnson, and Mike was just out there chilling.
Mm-hmm. So that I think that's why in a close one, I edge the Bulls out because you can't look at coaching because same person. So, you're going to have the same thing coaching, making adjustments. But I just think that Kobe's going to have to do that double time work that's going to allow Mike to look coast or not be as ran through per se, I guess, not ran through, but exert as much energy because Pippen is going to do the dirty work on the defense end. And then Pippen mess around and give you 25 one night.
Yeah, I that you're probably right, Locke, but I think if Shaq going, it's gonna be a long night for somebody.
I think the team and the Lakers team just isn't as top heavy as that Bulls team. That Lakers team, man, it's kind of spread out. Got Derek Fisher and Ron Harper,
After that is what Brian Shaw, Devin George.
It's really calm because both of them have the same coach. it's really calm. They had the same coach.
My bad, Weezy. You take Shaq out the equation, it's the same team, really.
Same team. Yep.
Shaw, Ron Harper. I mean, Brian Shaw wasn't on the Bulls, but they had a Brian Shaw-esque player. You know what I'm saying? Like so, they were built the same. Just focus Shaq, and focus Shaq is something we don't see.
Who you got winning, Joe? 7-game series.
It's going 7. It's going 7. Kobe makes the mistake, tries to go against Mike, and don't give it to Shaq, and the Bulls win in 7. Because it's young Kobe. That's all the reason is young Kobe.
Kobe number 8.
What about you, Locke?
Oh man, I got close 7-game for sure, but I got the Bulls edging it out because Jordan is just gonna make the play, and he's still gonna have the other people there, like you said, Pippen. You know, you still got that Steve Kerr in that corner. So if you try to go double, you got your shoot over there still. So I'm gonna say the Bulls win in a close win for sure.
Weezy, who you got?
I probably go to the Bulls too, just because I'm afraid of Mike in the 4th.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lakers. I just think Shaq would be too dominant. I don't give a damn if you put Luke or you put Dennis Rodman on him, man. At the end of the day, Dennis Rodman's 6'7", and Shaq is 300 pounds, 7'1", man. It's just gonna be too much. Maybe 6. Lakers maybe in 6 for sure.
Damn.
Because look, this is the thing now. The Bulls average 105. The Lakers average 100. The Bulls gave up 92 points. The Lakers gave up 97. So they was already giving up a lot of points, and the Bulls were scoring a lot of points. So if the Lakers giving up 97 and the Bulls scoring 105, they're going to put points up. The Lakers only average 100 points, and the Bulls only gave up 93. So they're not going to get that 100.
I just don't see a way on that team that you're going to stop Shaq with his back to the basket. It's going to be a long night unless you find it.
Yeah, it's gonna be I don't either. Yeah,
it's going to be one of the things you're going to let Shaq get his.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, that's what the 76ers thought. That's what the Nets thought, Pacers. And Shaq dominated 35s, 40s, and Kobe's coming in with 27, 28. It's tough, man.
But see, I don't think, but see,
he did.
No, he did. I'm not saying he didn't. But who on those teams is Pippen like that can slow Kobe down? Why Shaq getting him 35? Iverson didn't have no help. They did it the first game. They let Shaq get his points, and Iverson pulled the game off, and he was by himself. You talking about a different team that has more that can allow Shaq to get his, and then just not let nobody else do nothing. Because if Pippen get tired, now you can put Mike on Kobe, and then swap back.
I think that's why they win 2 games.
It's your man. You're going to defend your mans. I understand.
I'm just saying. I think that's why they win 2 games.
He locked in, too. He was locked in. Everything you said, Coach, he had something for. He was locked in.
Let's move right along to the next matchup. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. Woo! Jeff, I'll let you lead with this one, man. What could it have been, man?
It's two great fighters. You hope that this fight takes place pre-jail Mike and pre-jail Ali, because they both were at the height of their superpowers at that time. So if it does, man, I don't see Mike's power is unmatched to me, unless you're Deontay Wilder with that 1-punch knockout that he had. So, and George Foreman. So Ali would had to have come up with the rope-a-dope early to get Mike out of there. But I'll let y'all talk about it, man. This is something that you can debate either way because they both have strengths that the other one just can't do. That's just.
I agree with Jeff on that. I'm gonna go with I will roll with Mike Tyson. I mean, I will roll with Muhammad Ali just on the strength because I think he's a better technical boxer. Yeah. You put him on the rope, you put him on the ropes and you still miss him 6 times. That's and then with Mike Tyson, I just think he'd get frustrated and probably try to do something crazy because he missed him 6 times. He's right there in front of his face. But if Mike catch him one good time, it could be, TKO.
I agree, man. I think Ali's gonna win this on a simple fact of the rope a dope, like we saw. Because you gotta think about it, when Ali fought George Frazier had crazy power too. Not George Frazier, George Foreman. I'm sorry. He had crazy power too. I ain't saying he had Mike Tyson punching power, but he had some power with his punches, and Ali was just on the rope, just eating those punches and dodging some of those punches. And then the one thing that we saw that hurt Mike Tyson was if he ever went late in the fight, it wasn't good for him. So Ali was going to do whatever he had to do to make sure that he stretched that fight out to the point where he knew he could take advantage of Tyson. And then the other thing was Ali was so tall compared to Mike. Ali was a master with that jab. So he wasn't going to let Mike get in close and get that uppercut going that he put people away with plenty of times. I think Tyson would catch him a few times, but I think Ali would be able to eat those punches and bounce back and make the fight last longer than Tyson wanted to. And I think that's how Ali would eventually win that fight.
Yeah, man. I definitely think this would be a very good matchup. Both are cocky dominant in 2 vastly different ways, but the intimidation factor of both would make it one of the fight of the centuries. So if it goes anywhere past 4 rounds, it's Ali. But if it's 3 or 4 rounds, man, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Mike Tyson, I don't think anybody can beat Mike Tyson in a 3 or 4 round situation. I don't think it's anybody.
To me, like, you factor in, like, Mike's 5'7", 5'8", I believe. Mike's not a tall guy. You know what I mean? So he kind of go off what Coach said. He dealt with having to deal with fighters with a longer reach than him pretty much his whole career. You saw him against Spinks. You saw him against Mercer, people like that. Like, he had to go against that reach before. So Larry Holmes, etc. So I'm not saying those fighters are nowhere near as good as Muhammad Ali is in his prime, but I think Mike can make up for the reach with his quickness. Yeah, Ali is super duper quick too, but Mike is coming from a lower stance and with everything behind it with both hands and fast. Like, most people have quickness and they lack in power. Like, Muhammad Ali has knocked people out before, but he's not known for his power. He's known for his technical skill. Mike is quick and hitting like nothing else in his day. I think Mike wins this. I do. I think Mike wins.
Wow.
What round would you have him winning?
It's got to be a knockout, right? It'll be 6. It'll be 6 of the best rounds you ever seen in your life, and he catch him. He just catch him. And that's pretty much it. And you want to see another one because even though it's a knockout, you hope they do it again. But he'll catch him with one, and Ali just didn't see that coming.
Would you bet on Mike?
Yeah. If they file, I would bet on Mike. Pre-jail. If it's after jail, nah, no way. Pre-jail Mike, I'm betting on Mike.
Pre-jail Mike, I'm betting the house on pre-jail Mike. Let's move right along to the next matchup. We have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I think 2 of the best quarterbacks of our adult lives. What does this matchup look like, Weezy?
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers looks like it's a great matchup if we would have got it. Great match. Because as for Aaron Rodgers, they thought Aaron Rodgers was the best. He was getting the same hype that Patrick Mahomes was getting. He can win 9, 10 Super Bowls in a row. You know, his ball, the way he threw the ball was nobody ever seen. It was comparing him to the greats. And, then Tom Brady came alive and was still winning Super Bowls after the Super Bowl. They kept talking, Aaron Rodgers is great. He's still winning, and he was still winning. So I think this is great. But then it became too many quarterbacks in the league. It became too many great quarterbacks.
And on top of that, the teams were better too.
Yeah. I still believe Tom Brady, them first 2 Super Bowls he won early with the Patriots when he took Drew Brees. I mean, when he took not Drew Brees,
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe's spot. They were kind of easy championships. I think so. And then the rest of them, that's when Belichick started cheating and stuff, and it got real.
I just find it amazing that we never saw this matchup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I believe they played this regular season coming up, and it's so hyped up because we never got to see this, especially as accomplished as both of these players are, and as much as the Hall of Fame is just waiting for them right now. So it's amazing to me that we never saw this matchup. It's a travesty that Aaron Rodgers never had the team around him that could have competed against the Patriots and got over that hump to play in the Super Bowl like they should have more than the times they did.
Yeah, man, this was a case of crazy plays in all the years. It was a bunch of different years where they were destined to play. You had the one where the Patriots went 14-2 in the regular season and they lost to the Jets in the divisional game. They had just beat them 45-3 like 6 weeks ago. Then you had the one where the Seahawks beat the Packers in the NFC Championship game and the Patriots went to the Super Bowl because the coach went for it he kicked the field goal from the 1-yard line twice in the first quarter. And then it was just a snowball effect. All these different things, teams collapsing. They had their chance, but they could never get it together. Always seemed like the team that was supposed to get there would mess it up in the playoffs some kind of way against a team that they had no business losing to.
And this just lets you know how bad of an organization the Packers are being to put talent around Aaron Rodgers for them to never match up in the Super Bowl. It's been known and people talked about it. Aaron Rodgers never had a first-round running back skill position player on offense, period. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, hell, that's it. Just has it. And this is the reason why we haven't seen this matchup, but I think it would have been one of the best. I'll kick things off as far as who will win. I think the edge is going to slightly go in the matchup to the Patriots because the team's usually just a better team. They're going to have a lot of the skill players. They always spend to get one big skill player. You have Randy Moss. You might have a situation where you have a Gronk or, one of those really good aging wide receivers and then an aging running back as well. So I would think the game would go to Tom Brady, but that matchup would have been great. Who you guys got?
I have the Patriots winning also because, like you mentioned, they're going to have somebody on offense, but they're also going to have somebody on defense. They always have one. Like right now, they got Gilmore. We know he just got the rating of 99 on Madden. Can't get any better than that. The Packers, they could never figure it out on defense. They just always relied on Aaron Rodgers to outscore everybody, which was weird to me because you want him to outscore everybody, but you don't put anybody around him to help him outscore everybody. That makes no sense. If you're going to rely on him to outscore everybody, you need to go get a great wide receiver. You need to go get a great running back. You need to go get a great tight end, and then let's just put our money on offense. But they never do that. So I definitely have the Patriots winning also.
Yeah, I got the Patriots winning too, only because they have Bill Belichick, and they're gonna when you get only because maybe especially if it's a Super Bowl or something like that, Patriots winning all day long because you got too much time to prepare. And then if it was like a regular Sunday game, it'd been a better chance for Aaron Rodgers because they ain't got that time to prepare. But I got the Patriots because Bill Belichick, Tom Brady listens to him, and then Aaron Rodgers and McCartney. Aaron Rodgers did his own thing. He'll hear the play coming in, and then he'll audible out of it in a second just because he don't like to play. I've seen him do it. Cost me money doing it.
I think Tom Brady, let me rephrase it. Aaron Rodgers wins the one-on-one, the duel. He'll have 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, but the Patriots will win by a field goal. You know what I mean? Because Belichick.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Aaron Rodgers will win the one-on-one duel.
Let's move right along to the next matchup. We have Usain Bolt versus Michael Johnson. Man, this is a woo-wee. What could have been, Coach? What do you think?
Man, to be honest, I don't even think this one is close. We're going to get real to it. Michael Johnson was great in his time, but let's call a spade a spade. Michael Johnson's fastest time in a 200 ever was 19.3. Usain Bolt set the record with 19.19. His next time was 19.3, which is still faster than Michael Johnson's fastest time ever. Michael Johnson's other times were 19.6, 19.7. You know, he stayed around at 6.7, and if he had a great day, it was going to be 19.3. But you talking about Usain Bolt, on the bad day, he's running a 19.3, 19.35, something like that. You know, he was 6'5", Michael Johnson 6'1". His gait is just naturally bigger, which that's going to give you advantage if you're just as fast. So I just don't think this one will be close like everybody would think. Don't get me wrong, Michael Johnson was a dog. I get it, but Usain Bolt is just an anomaly. You know, he's just a whole nother level.
Yeah, you can't argue with Coach Locke on that one, man. Usain Bolt is the same thing like Patrick Mahomes. He's just a better athlete, better runner. In that same, I'm not betting against Usain Bolt. Michael Jackson.
You done brought up Pat Mahomes like 7 times, man. You need to get some jerseys. You need to get some Adidas.
That's the standard.
That's your man.
Yeah, damn right.
I'll say this, not to cut you off, Weezy, but it's in the 200. That's Michael Johnson's event.
Oh, shit.
What I'll say, yes, Coach is right. Usain Bolt's fastest time was with the 0.2 of a second faster, which is a long time in track. That's a whole marathon in the track in the sprint. But gold spikes, Olympic night, Michael Johnson against Usain Bolt, one race. If they race 10 times, Usain wins 9. But if it's one race, I got Michael Johnson.
Me too, Jeff. I got Michael Johnson too. People don't realize he was not explosive out of the blocks and early in the strides. He catches up, and I get it. Usain Bolt is a person that kind of picks up speed later, but telling you, man, the way that Michael Johnson keeps up as far as pace, man, I think he'll beat Usain Bolt, man, every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, you wrong as hell. You wrong as hell about it.
I mean, I'm saying, I think he was sneaking against some of them, for real.
I'll say this. That would be standing room only, the sellout anywhere. Like that night, you wouldn't be anywhere in the world but watching that right there. Like that would be the biggest out of all, to me, and I mean, you might think I'm crazy, but out of everything we talk about today, that particular race will be the biggest event of everything we talk about on here if it ever could have happened. That would have been amazing to watch.
The one I want to see the most is the Bulls versus the Lakers, but this, I ain't gonna lie, I would stand in line to see that one for sure.
20 seconds.
Everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see the fastest man in the world, which is not, because it's not the 100-meter, but it's such a big deal because you have these two. But I just don't see how Michael Johnson can pull it off. Like you said, he gets out the block slow. So does Usain Bolt. But Usain Bolt has the gait. And even if you say Michael Johnson is going to up his game, he's still only going to run the 9.2. Nah. So if Usain Bolt is he's going to see this Michael Johnson over here. So just like Michael Johnson is going to up his game, Usain Bolt is going to up his game. So he mess around and run a 19 flat.
I'll do you this though. I tell you what won't happen. He won't be looking back like he did against Justin.
No,
Gabriel.
oh
Hell
no.
no.
Hell
None
no.
of that.
He's not doing that. Nah, ain't no way. He do
He's
that,
gonna
he
win
gonna
the
take
race,
a
though.
L.
He's still gonna win the race.
And you got to think
He gonna
about
win, bro.
too. That's 96 training. Just imagine if Michael Johnson had some 2016 training, 20 years of advanced in technology and shit. Man, it'll be a great matchup for sure.
Yeah, I love to see it too, for sure.
For sure. Let's move right along to the number 6 matchup, the defensive struggle. The 2000 Ravens versus the 2002 Bucks. What does this matchup look like, Weezy?
I hate the 2000 Ravens because they made Eddie George quit. That's not that funny, Jeff. It ain't that funny. I promise you, it's not that funny.
I can tell you the play he quit. I remember the exact play he quit.
I do too.
Sideline.
That's funny. That's what we doing. What about Music City Miracle? You remember that? You remember that exact play?
Music City pass. I remember the Music City 4 pass. I remember that.
You remember that? You remember that exact play? No flags on the field. Do you remember that?
Hey, y'all didn't win either, so it don't matter.
Do you remember that? My goodness. But yeah, that 2000 defense, man, with Ravens was not nasty. But that 2002 from Tampa Bay, the Tampa 2, they were nasty too. And their both defenses was the middle was the standpoint. The middle, Ray Lewis, and then their other linebacker that Derrick Brooks, they had for the Seminoles.
And Warren Sapp.
That middle was crazy. But hey, the Ravens had big
Saragusa.
Big Goose. He was nasty too. So I'm gonna go with 2000 because I like Ed Reed. Ed Reed was the X factor on that one, to me.
This wouldn't be fun to watch. Like it would be fun to watch the pregame and all that, but once the football started, man, it'd be just a whole bunch of field goals and punts. Like that's all you get out of this. Two very below par quarterbacks. Two very good run games, though. We'll say that 2 very good run games, but very below par quarterback play. And this is the Spurs versus the Pistons in the NBA. That's what this is. Defense at a premium.
Yeah, it's definitely a defense at a premium. The one thing I don't like about the matchup is it will come down to the team that has the better offense, I believe, which I think it was the Bucks, because we know they both gonna stop each other. We know they're not gonna give up a lot of points. Somebody on offense is gonna have to make a play, and to me, the Bucks had more offensively people that could do it. You talking about you had Keyshawn Johnson on that team. You had what's my man's name?
Work done.
No, he wasn't on that team. Nope, he wasn't on that team. It was Michael Pittman, Mike Allstott.
On the Super Bowl team?
Because I thought he was too.
Because Brad Johnson, quarterback of the team, wasn't he?
Yeah, Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson was the quarterback. Yeah. So Keenan McCardell. That's who I was thinking about. They just had a few more people on offense that I think will be able to make that one play that would separate them, because the Ravens defense was unreal. But their offense was so bad. Like their offense went 5 games without scoring a touchdown. And the Ravens only won 2 of those games. That's insane. They only gave up 238 yards, average giving up 10.3 points. But they didn't face no Hall of Fame quarterbacks either. Even though they faced some great running backs like Eddie George, Jerome Bettis, Emmitt Smith, Fred Taylor, they didn't play no quarterbacks, where that Tampa Bay team, they faced Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, Dante Culpepper, Donovan McNabb, and they just allowed 10 touchdown passing. So I think when it came down to it, which it sucks that it would have to come to offense to decide that, because we can't put the defense against the defense. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I can go with you on that one.
Yeah. I'm going with the Bucks as well, man. I think the X factors are kind of single each other out. John Lynch, Ed Reed, and that's my GM. Shout out to the reason that Madden team's so good. It's all John Lynch. It's all John Lynch. But
Damn right.
but yeah, no, mediocre quarterback play. I think somebody will make a play on defense, and with Simeon Rice being on the defensive line to help out the Bucks, I think they win by a field goal. Martin Gramatica.
I got the
Oh.
Ravens winning. Strictly because I just think that defense for them set the standard for a defense winning a Super Bowl. And they couldn't score touchdowns. Ed Reed wasn't on that team, by the way. Ed Reed was on the second team, I thought.
Ed Reed wasn't on that first team, the 2000 team?
He was on the
now because he's playing in college. He's on the 01. Yeah, now you're right. You're right. The Bucks definitely winning that.
This is fresh off the murder Ray Lewis though. It's different Ray. This is
I'm not.
It's different.
He didn't murder. Did he murder somebody?
Well, it was murder case.
It was a murder case.
This put murder on him.
Allegedly.
He didn't get the body.
There you go.
But that was a different Ray right there. That was Madden cover MVP Ray Lewis. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens right there, just because they didn't make mistakes and they wouldn't get out of character.
Weezy, did you pick?
Yeah, I went with the Bucks.
And the score is 9-3.
That's something stupid.
Yeah, they gonna show.
Let's get to the granddaddy of them all. Let's get it. You know what I mean? We're a little over time, but hey, listen. This is the matchup. LeBron versus Kobe. What could it have been, man? Ooh, boy, this is LeBron. We'll talk about it, but LeBron is the reason why this matchup didn't happen. But what could it have been?
It could have been. They show hyped this up a lot. They had the puppets going and the commercials. It almost seemed like it was going to be set up for them to play against each other in the championship. They tried. Mm-hmm.
The NBA was forcing this one, but LeBron sure did tuck his tail.
Nah, don't do LeBron like that.
Yeah, how tuck his tail, Jeff?
Well, not necessarily LeBron, but the team that he was on didn't help him out as much. Which in turn,
Thank you.
But he didn't want to see that. He didn't want to see that team in 2009.
Yeah, he had Candace Parker's brother. He had Candace Parker brother on this team, man. He did all he could with that team.
He hit that shot in game one. I thought they had the Magic that year when he hit that shot.
Yeah, that's the biggest shot of his career, I think.
That's the argument, but I don't know. That's the argument. I don't know.
I'm just saying, in 2009, the Magic beat them. You're not supposed to lose to the Magic, and you got a league best or franchise best 66 wins, y'all. Can't do that.
Yeah, but we talking Cleveland Cavaliers, Jay. We're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They didn't help him at all. Like they didn't help him, man. You talking about
Mo Williams,
Delonte West, Anderson Varejao. Like LeBron averaged 35 in the playoffs, man. The next person point-wise on that team was 16 points. They didn't give him no help. That Orlando team wasn't as bad as people think. You had Dwight Howard, of course. You had Jameer Nelson. You had Turkoglu. You had Ray Lewis. Rashard Lewis. J.J. Redick was on that team. That team wasn't as bad. Courtney Lee was on that team.
Listen.
They wasn't.
Listen, that damn Magic team was loaded. But LeBron is supposed to pull you up out of anything. LeBron.
That's what I don't like.
Come on.
That's what we don't like. We ain't gonna do
that. He did all he could do. He couldn't do it by himself. But this was supposed to be the matchup where it was possibly seeing the passing of the torch. LeBron had one of the best individual seasons ever. You know, he was a 13 box plus or minus, which is the best in NBA history.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was going to set up to see if we were going to pass the torch. Do I think the torch would have been passed? No, because I don't think they would have beat that Lakers team. But I think it would have been a situation where they would have been like, okay, LeBron is right there on Kobe's ass.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't play either, because Kobe was too seasoned in. He was more focused than ever. He was trying to win that other championship without Shaq. I'm glad they didn't play, because he'd have beat my boy, and LeBron never heard the end of it. I'm glad they didn't play.
No, for sure. He didn't want to see that team. And that's the thing with the NBA. The best players sometimes don't win. The best teams usually win. It kind of takes a perfect storm for both to kind of happen. And even more is more of getting those two iconic players in the finals, man. It's the beauty of a perfect storm, man, when it rains and pours. But he didn't want to come see the boy.
Do y'all remember that All-Star game, Kobe's last All-Star game, when he took it way more serious than anybody else, and LeBron had a chance to win it in I believe it was regulation, and Kobe got the block on LeBron and kind of sealed the game, sealed the win for the West. Like, you could tell Kobe wanted to play dude, like for something bigger than an All-Star game, of course, but he wanted to play.
Sure.
He wanted to see what that was like, and it just sucks that we didn't get to see that. We should have. That was probably the only year where it would have worked, because the Boston team was too good for LeBron. I mean, not just for LeBron, but for Cleveland at the time. And then by the time he went and made the Heatles, Kobe was, was trying to figure out what to do with Smush Park and them.
Hey, I tell you this. Not Kobe. LeBron would have had a hard time holding up his own against that team, because you got Kobe, who is going to check him. He's going to take it personal. But then you also had Trevor Ariza on that team. So they took Kobe out to get his break. Now you got Trevor Ariza.
Artest would have been LeBron.
That's what I'm saying. So he would have been in for a long night, because while they was resting Kobe, you got Artest right there. You got Trevor Ariza right there. He been in for a long series. He still would have held his own, but it was still a little too early for him, I think.
I'm glad they didn't play. That'd hurt my boy's career. That'd hurt him mentally, for real, because they had too much. They was too deep. They had Lamar, they had Phil Jackson in the triangle. I'm glad they didn't play. I'm glad they didn't play. I'm glad they didn't play.
Smart man.
I would have lost a lot of money. I've been betting, talking cash money.
Yeah.
I'd have lost.
Yes, you would have. Man. Hey, we can only pick 7. Maybe a part 2's coming in the future. A lot of great matchups. A lot of things we missed out on. I'm going down to saying that Michael Johnson versus Usain Bolt is the one I want to see the most. What you got, Weezy?
I want to see that USC versus now I want to see USC versus Florida State, but the USC versus Miami is what I want to see.
Sure. What about you, Jeff?
I said it. I think Usain Bolt, Michael Johnson that would have been, I would have loved to see that. One night. Just Saturday night, everybody, standing room only. Well, I want to see that.
What you got, Coach?
I'm going to go with that Miami USC matchup, just because the race is going to be over so fast. It's going to be so exciting. The build-up is going to be great. Yeah. But then in 20 seconds, it's like, all right, now what do we do?
Yep.
We'll have a lot to talk about, but the football game would last longer. It would be more time to sit there and talk about it and see something. That race is just going to be too fast for me.
Hey, I'm running 75 meters. Usain Bolt is running 200 meters. He's still going to beat me?
Yes.
Facts.
Damn. I won't even be close?
No.
That means he has to, that means I'm going, he has to come all the way around. Hit the straightaway. I'm halfway down the straightaway.
You're not halfway down the straightaway, but you got 3/4.
Yeah,
you got to go 3/4 straightaway.
And I'm running before he even starts.
Yeah, for sure.
And he gonna beat me.
For sure.
How you for sure? What you
200
okay? What
you
you think
running
you run
75?
100? What you think you run 100-meter in right now?
Shit, I don't know. I don't know. I'm slow as hell.
You got to think about 100-meter record is 10 something.
No, I ain't
That's the
gonna run
record. I know you're not. That's the Olympic record. You're gonna have to run an 18 something in 75 meters to beat him.
I don't stand a chance, do I, Jeff?
You see, I was quiet, brother. I ain't want to say nothing. I ain't want to say that. I know I don't stand a chance. I ain't even put myself out there like that. But
Ain't nobody in this damn Zoom call beating dude and he's running the 200. You running the 75. Ain't no way.
I don't see it.
Who won the 200 out of all us? Who won the 200 race?
Me?
Shit.
You don't know that. 200.
Jay got a track body.
Yeah, we got to do 100. I ain't running no 200.
I ain't fast. I can tell that now. I ain't never been fast like that.
You ain't gonna race.
No, I mean, ain't nobody on this call gonna race. I can tell you that now.
I'm not going.
I'm telling you, because listen, somebody. No, I ain't gonna say about it. Everybody's gonna pull a hamstring trying to sprint a 200 meter.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I ain't gonna put
and I'm not doing it.
What'd you say, Jeff?
Okay.
I stand with the clock. I got
oh man, yeah. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be 4 o'clock.
I got the gun.
Yeah,
I got the gun.
Yeah. I'm holding damn rope for whoever running.
Because tell you what I'm not gonna do is goddamn they just run a 200 right now.
Hell no. I'm not running a 40. You think I'm running 100?
Y'all crazy.
Man. Yeah. Pope looking for you, Weezy.
You ready, Weezy? You ready?
Hey, it's looking like tomorrow. What up?
His ball.
Ooh.
I like that, Weezy.
I don't know what you want me to say, Jay. It's his ball.
That's it. That's
what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
I said it on live.
You say what?
I said it on live. I said it on Zoom. I said it on the telephone, text message. Whatever y'all want to email. His ball.
Oh my God.
I thought you said we're gonna put it on the live.
His ball, 3 dribbles. I want to see if he can handle this. I want to see what he do. You want to see what he do with this Euro stuff. I want to see what he gonna do with it.
He said, "Don't be ducking a phone call tomorrow."
Yeah, I want to see what he gonna do with this Euro stuff.
And some questions, man, throughout the week in Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe, but more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Weezy.
Everything paid for, baby. Euro.
Damn right. Jeff.
The camera's always on, especially for that Euro. Gotta have it.
Tomorrow. That bitch gonna be on. Coach Locke.
Get a drummer song. I'm gonna give y'all all kind of drum rolls, Weezy. Bring you in.
Euro.
And the Revolution will be podcast. We are out.
Euro.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.